So what we're going to do today is take a look at some Muji notebooks. So one of my viewers mentioned these in a comment to one of the other videos. I took a look at them on the internet and I couldn't resist. So I bought a pack of those. We're going to take a look. I'm going to let you know what I think and whether they're suitable for morning pages, things like that, general use. Now I'm going to be giving away one of these notebooks, maybe more than one of these notebooks, along with a Blackwing pencil. So you've got everything you need. There's no excuses. So keep a lookout for what you need to do to get one. Now I've also ordered some Rotifarden booklets, which I'm going to take a look at in another video coming up. And I'm also going to take a look at the Traveller's Notebook. So I've got the full-size one there and the passport one. I'm going to let you know what I think of those. I hope to do more of these kind of reviews, so let me know if there's anything you'd like me to cover. Now the website says about these books that they're produced from plantation trees grown specifically for paper. This method produces less CO2 and chemical usage compared to recycled paper. Each notebook contains 30 sheets of lined paper. So as you can see, this is the B5 composition format. Now I do like this format of notebook. It's a very slim profile, and what this is going to be really is my initial impressions, because I haven't seen these notebooks before. But as I said, one of my viewers left a comment saying she uses them, so I thought I'd take a look, and my first impressions immediately are, ooh, they're very nice. So I like the different coloured spines. I love a craft cover. I like a craft cover on the Moleskine Cahier, which I've got there, and this is the book I use for my morning pages at the moment. So we'll take a look at that. But yeah, this is a really nice slim profile. Look at that. The shallow profile of these books actually makes the writing easier, because when you get, if you've got a thick notebook, your hand is very often up there, and it kind of can be quite difficult to write on the page. I don't know whether you find that. But yeah, looking at this immediately, the lines are nice and faint. I don't like dark lines on a page. I find them quite intrusive. I like the fact that it's got these little guides here, top and bottom. That's very nice. So you can divide the page up if you want. A very nice looking notebook, actually. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to test this with a few things. So first off, I'm going to test it with a Blackwing pencil. As you can see, I've used this. This is why it's quite short. I've got very many pencils that are really quite short. So let's have a look. My initial impression there is that the pencil looks very dark on this paper. Really nice. Doesn't come through very much. You wouldn't expect that with a pencil anyway, and that's one of the reasons why I do like pencils. This is a Mitsubishi pencil. Much cheaper than the Blackwings, which are really expensive for pencils. So let's have a look. As you can see, there is, pencils and pencils. There's a considerable difference between them, and I can tell you the writing feel of the Blackwing was much nicer. This is a brush pen, because I know a lot of people out there use fountain pens. Now I don't use fountain pens; they're quite expensive. But this is a brush pen, and this is a good test of whether the ink will come through the page onto the other side. Because I've used this in like my book notes and things like that. Let's take a look. Could do with a drum roll or something. Brush pen test. So let's have a look. Is it going to come through? Oh my goodness. Yes, it really does come through. Now that might not happen with a fountain pen, I suppose. But for me, I couldn't use a brush pen in this book, because that would feel like a real waste of, I couldn't use this side of the page. Here I've got a Uni-Ball Air. It's another one of my favourite pens. That's nice and dark. And does it smudge? Oh no. That's pretty good, actually, because that means it dries quickly. One thing I really don't like is when ink smudges on paper. Wow, that dries really quick. Ooh. Like a couple of seconds and it's dry. Doesn't come through too badly, which is nice, actually. Now this is a Muji pen, which I ordered when I was ordering the Muji notebook. It's a gel pen, so I'm just going to give it a quick try because I was quite intrigued. I was thinking, well, if Muji make nice notebooks, maybe they make nice pens too. So this is a gel ink ballpoint 0.7 black. Writes quite nicely, but it's very smooth, and like one of the reasons I like a pencil is I like a bit of friction when I'm writing. But I would say it's just a pen. In this pack I got 5 notebooks for £4.95 because I'm in the UK, and each book has got 30 sheets. Now that doesn't seem like many, so I've got 150 sheets in this pack of 5 books. And if I was using these for morning pages, each book would last me 10 days if I'm doing 3 pages a day. So the lines are quite narrow because I am using the larger, the Moleskine, as I said, the Moleskine Cahier for this now. Oops a daisy. So the lines are fairly similarly spaced. Lines are noticeably darker in the Cahier. So I actually like this. I'm going to try this for morning pages, I think, one of these at some point, and see how I get on. But this pack would last me 50 days for morning pages, so say around 2 months if I'm doing morning pages for 5 days a week, which is how I generally do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give away a few of these notebooks along with a Blackwing pencil, not a short one like this, a proper full-size one that hasn't been used, hasn't even been sharpened. But I'll send this to you, a matching set anywhere in the world, if you can tell me why you should be the lucky recipient. Now I want you to be humorous. Okay, just leave a comment, let me know why you should get one, and I'll just pick somebody who tickles my fancy the most. I wish I'd ordered the A5 as well, because I'd like to see how they fit into my Ruterfaden Taschenbegleiter, which you can see in another video. I'll leave a link in the description. But yeah, and let's compare these to the Moleskine Cahier. The Cahier come in sets of 3, as you probably know. So each Cahier, we're going to compare these to the Muji. Okay, each Cahier has got 120 pages. So with a packet of 3 books, I get 360 pages. Now if I use these for my morning pages, they last me 120 days. Now it depends what you want, how much you can afford, and how much you think you're going to use these things. Now the other thing is, like, I kind of think like morning pages are transient, so I don't actually think it's worth spending a lot of money on something I'm just going to scribble down some stuff in, because they're there and they're written. I do the writing and I take stuff from them, but then they're kind of disposable. I stick them on the shelf and forget about them. Let me know in the comments what you think and why you should be the lucky recipient of one of these Muji notebooks and a full-sized unused Blackwing pearl pencil. If you've enjoyed this video, why not subscribe and check out one of the others. Look out for posts in the community section and channel memberships coming soon. Bye for now.